Where to now?
Newsflash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans. This is an urgent broadcast. The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heritors are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Mr. Scrollum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion: their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need him. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was him.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
He's only just woken up, dazed. He may need a few pointers. Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me?
Mr. Trailblazer, you must have many questions. Please?
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. No, the attack happened on a base outside the station. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't seem to trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before the attack occurred.
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the attackers seized the opportunity.
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio. We are honored to have your assistance.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet? Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was.
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go, let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
My memory is kind of hazy. What did I do after that? This is what I recall before I met Herta, but let me try to remember the conversation.
A curio that's alive, but maybe the researchers at the Departments of Ecology or Insight may have an idea? Hinkle and are around here somewhere.
Asta seems to have mentioned two names. Two researchers from the Departments of Ecology and
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth online. Ugh. If I discover who's behind this, they're gonna wish they'd never crossed me. A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes... Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomenon. I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such... We've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. But there are some who are trying to exploit the chaos to agitate. People are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this.
Adler. Right. Then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with Arlen. They were involved in...
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy?
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know you're upset.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk.
Like I said, we're walking the dog.
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Is there something you need?
Oh, really? What a coincidence. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. No danger of... Brother Arlen, I can't keep this up anymore.
Can you leave the talking to me next time? Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. Careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable. Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go!
Lamps ablaze.
Lance! Forward!
Grace.
You can't run!
Do not be afraid. Heavens, break. Awaken, dormant scale. World cleansing dragon.
Tough luck running into me!
Lands at the rat. Sense a storm. Heavens, rise.
Cute!
I'm nap time.
Scratch.
Try that again!
Heavens, break.
Gotta try hard sometime. Watch
you okay?
That's me. What's up?
He wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now.
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. So, which curio do you want to know about? That's all you got? Too abstract. Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? Huh, she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, let's call it a day. Wait for me.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. Right. Asta mentioned another. My memories of Arlen and Adler.
A curio that's alive, but... How's it going? Did you find the information you're after? I see. Is that what Hinkle and... See? My researchers are pretty out. Just business as usual. After the Legion's invasion, some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts. But, yes, 4 researchers have inexplicably, people were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can. Like rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle.
A curio that's a...
The other person should be from the Department of Insight. Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Hey, what brings you here?
I'm not that wonderful.
It's all taken care of. Here's the account you asked for.
Sure. Can I help you with...
Oh, you flatter me. Small scale. Best left under the table.
Again? How many times has it been?
Here too. My memories are just a jump. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was... What did Emily say?
I say, what a wonderfully intelligent-looking young lady.
I'm not that wonderful.
No need to be modest, though I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star of the Department of Insight.
Sure. Can I help you with some?
See this material here? I'm not getting any younger.
Again? How many times has it been?
Oh, another smart-looking youngster.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? However, I've heard of such a species. Don't get me wrong. I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you.
The Xianzhou species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The disappearances the Xianzhou species Emily...
I figured you'd come to me to I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate.
Just as I thought. I vaguely remember that Arlen said more.
I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. How did you know? I see. Could you also tell that Lady Asta was feeling the... I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred. That means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. The words they used were spontaneous combustion of the human body.
Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? She's not... She's not wrong. That's right! They're called Heliobi! Now that you mention it, let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be...
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That's what... I need to go over it from the start.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hints.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ahead.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama?
Affirmation. We can ask Herta.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies. It's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. If he is truly innocent. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Based on your story, the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinket...
I doubt Herta is interested.
Based on your story, you met the assignment, Herta's collection...
Sure, but you're the one saying the curio in question is ordinary.
Say what you want to say.
A correct observation.
Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet...
I doubt Herta is interested in...
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted...
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretending. Based on your story, You met with her to...
I remember now.
That's enough based on your story. You met...
I remember now.
That's enough based on your... And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now.
That's enough... And the assignment involves a curio Herta's collection. An endless...
I remember now.
That's enough Herta's collection.
I doubt Herta is in...
Based on your story. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles.
I remember now.
That's enough Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets...
The curio isn't the point.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius.
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio.
Yes, to get more information about the cure. I didn't get a direct answer, but...
Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold... So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding...
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my... They wouldn't be partial to anyone. Oh, researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard there was...
Yes. I ran into...
Adler?
A level 2 researcher. According to the...
Well, did he enlighten...
Adler seemed to have an idea at the time, but...
Researchers' disappearances, you... Clearly, though. It bears no connection to her to cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware.
I remember now.
That's enough. Cut the act.
Doubt me all you like. I'm just an outsider who got unexpectedly dragged in. You and I are no different.
Oh? Your point. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the...
I remember now.
That's enough. Cut the act.
Correction. There may...
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out...
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearances, you say?
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearances, you say?
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers Clearly, though. It bears no connection.
I remember now.
That's enough. Clearly, though. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction. There...
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, clearly, though. It bears no connection.
I remember now.
That's enough. Clearly, though. It bears...
No. Don't know the location. Isn't that the same as missing?
She did say that. But then what?
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was investigating the disappearances. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire anywhere in the space station.
That's what's so odd about it. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating when the puppet was attacked, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease.
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh? What was that?
Harrider Newsflash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
A declaration of war. And an announcement of what's to come.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed.
A group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child who deliberately broke a vase. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching. Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? That video will soon circulate. And this station's fate? Flames. Nothing but flames.
The destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than trust will be you need to start acting now if you want to survive. You, come with me. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Not good. This is serious.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships.
A list of the missing researchers and their...
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these people. I don't know.
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the Department of Ecology.
He disappeared too. I didn't really notice at first. Adler's difficult to get a hold of at the best of times. But it's been a few system hours, and I still can't reach him. The last time I saw him was in the Master Control Zone. He was with Wen Sherling from the Department of Implement Arts.
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of a discovery, yet if his disappearance is also related to the case here...
True. The keywords that got Adler thinking were energy life forms. We need to investigate this.
Welcome to Herta Space Station.
That
Jerk! Fine! Disappear! I don't ever... Oh, it's you. It's Adler. Adler disappeared. He's been acting really weird recently. He doesn't even answer me when I speak to him.
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word phrase.
Phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, he was reading this booklet the last time I don't know exactly what he's searching for.
Your countenance. So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to message. It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr. Screwlum.
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading.
Less than promising. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and evaluate the situation. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital...
Adler also.
You think that Adler is
Indeed. And I already... First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information. We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's plan is now clear. And the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best environment for chaos to fester. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
This...
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spot.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Her life was not in danger. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station.
A splinter, you say? Try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station.
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr. Trailblazer and contain the fire.
Infernal fire is also a form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. Follow it. For the theater of the mediocre. The way is awash with flames. It must have just teleported. Be careful. Get ready to dash into the fire. See? It's still in the space station. Like Skrullum said, it cannot escape from here. Do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt it.
The fire is dying.
It's still resisting. The fold in the space has shifted. The flame is getting weaker. Duke Inferno can't maintain it anymore. Seems like this chase is about to end. It's over.
Ignorant fools blindly chasing the firelight. It is little wonder that even in the descent of the Savior's Legion. But next time, expect no intermediaries.
A small fragment of consciousness in there is gone. Oh? No. Hold on. The banal theatrics of stalling.
Get someone a lesson.
Let's not. Shall we?
I sense a storm. Awaken dormant scales. World-cleansing dragon. Heaven, rise!
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength.
I'm asking questions.
To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength. Time for a nap time.
Inevitable. Awaken dormant scales. World-cleansing dragon.
So this is the extent of Miss Green's materializing from the Inferno. Seems like Dr. Primitive wasn't wrong.
Just a little something.
Not bad. Flat point. The strength. Heaven surge. Quick.
Oh, lend me your strength.
I sense a storm.
Your answers? SAS per kib. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
The times are changed.
The fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts.
Humanity means forever.
Battle is lend me your strength.
The strength.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Heaven, rise!
Naughty child.
A miracle.
Mediocre.
Awaken dormant. World-cleansing dragon.
Good work. You did very well. Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. It was all thanks to Adler. They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's most knowledgeable curio expert solved it. Many of them were shaken by their experience when Arlen found them. But they are otherwise. Yes, it is over. This business is over. and I believe, but there is one mystery that remains unsolved. And that is something I must deal with myself. I've been waiting.
Fallout from this incident remains. Surely you have plenty of pressing matters to attend to. Or is the safety of the space station beneath your...
Answer. That is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair.
When did you start to doubt me?
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say, I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlam. But do explain, why opt for silent wisdom when you already had the pieces of the puzzle?
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation. I made the same decision as you.
Oh, and when did you become convinced?
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack. Logic, a third party saved them.
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the phase flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation...
You are more candid than I
but still behaving within your calculations, no? One last question, Screwlam. Genius though you are, can you deduce why I did this?
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, and pulling the strings from behind the curtain is akin to laying down the gauntlet to a genie.
The ruler of planet Screwlam is indeed well versed in the human mind. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one. The path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace their footsteps. But even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of solitude and despair, when help is absent, that I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my questions. As for the answers, they'll find them themselves. Pursuit tinged with negativity is still pursuit, and it is capable of leading us to the right conclusion.
You are indeed more like a medical doctor than a scholar.
As for the spark I leave behind,
I believe Asta will deal with it properly.
It is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look forward to future encounters with such brilliant minds. Let's hope they're as memorable as those we had today. A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.